Alrighty, what's going on, everybody? I decided that I wanted to make at least, one more drama video, just because I kind of saw this all unfold, and it's just kind of ridiculous, and we're just gonna get right into it. So, today, as you can tell by the thumbnail title, we're talking about Sai Scribbles. And I'm just gonna go ahead and say it because I don't want it to be my entire point of this. She's fucking 40, acting the way she is. It's just absurd to me. Like, if I'm 40 acting like this, acting like a fucking teenager in high school about internet drama, just fucking shoot me in the head at that point, man. That's all I'll beg for at that point. But you might be asking, oh, why not? I know, why are you talking about this? And again, I just think it's silly that all this really even happened, getting to kind of know the lore of the beef that started between her and kind of like Falgi Block's entire circle. The Cope and Seeds podcast with Beckett, Leo, Pooh, all these people that honestly I didn't even know existed before, seeing all this drama unfold. I just thought it was ridiculous. But some of you might be asking, who is Sai Scribbles, right? Up on screen right now is my poor rendition of how I would assume she looks, mixed with, her OC that's on her channel. I worked really hard in this art piece. I think I could get into the art commentary community personally with my abilities. But anyways, right, she is someone that got pretty big off of doing, some videos on a Steven Universe fan. I forgot to mention Sai's a Steven Universe fan at the age of 40. Um, but she made a couple of videos actually, on someone named Lily Orchard that ended up being a freak. And she made, like, to my knowledge, people have said they're pretty good videos about this person, right? Covering this person, all the shit they're doing. And people kind of just kept following Sai, wanting more of that content, more of the drama regarding this weird freak. And kind of rolling off of that, people kept asking, so she decided to start streaming on Twitch, whatever, kind of going over general topics, going back to Lily Orchard a few times throughout the course of that. And eventually she starts doing YouTube videos, kind of generally on drama topics, whether it be within animation or just general online doo-doo ass drama. Which, after all that, she kind of, met the people within the Outblock circle, and all that. So, and I would say she was pretty friendly with them. I can't say that they're friends because she's like, it's a professional relationship. So, you interpret it how you will. I see it as her being very friendly, trying to be friends with people in a space that she wants to be in. But I think it all devolves into her using people, pretty much to grow herself within a space that she is kind of a tourist to. So, kind of to roll into the current drama, right? She kind of got sad at the entire circle surrounding, Leah or Lio, Pooh, and then Falgi kind of got pulled into it as well because he knows these people, he's friends with these people, right? Um, so pretty much a guy named Fox decided to make some grape jokes. The grapist. He decided to make some jokes like that in a call, and Sai really did not appreciate that. Now, did she? I think jokes like that are like middle school, high school tier, like poop jokes. Um, and I think as a grown man making those jokes, it's fucking weird. Especially like as an adult, I think you should be talking to women. Uh, at the very least, if you're a gay man, than talking to men. But even then, it's kind of weird if you talk about raping men, right? Um, but that's the way I see it. As a grown man, you really shouldn't be doing that. That's the way I see it. So, but it's still a joke. Dude's an online troll. He fucks around. He likes fucking rage baiting people, from what I've heard. So it isn't out of character for him, right? So you might be asking then, how does this pull in the other people? Well, she begins to kind of do a whole moral grandstand and decide, you're not calling them out, you're not kicking them out of your discords, so you're all terrible people. And she goes around starting to, like, purity test people, uh, just like off stream, to then go on a stream and then talk not bad about them, but be like, well, yeah, that's why I'm not working with you anymore. But it's not a purity test. I made that decision before. Clearly, she didn't. She wanted to see if these people would agree with her, and then she decided, oh, you didn't agree with me? Cool, I'm not working with you anymore. Which, oh, that's a purity test. So to kind of play off the whole purity test thing, in this clip about the show, she pretty much compares this guy who makes just a rape joke to someone who actively fantasizes about rape, because the guy has a rape fetish. So I think it is a little disingenuous of her to, you know, say, well, you condemn this guy even though, he has a rape fetish, but you're not going to condemn the guy who makes the rape joke, which is far different situations in my opinion. I think if you're fantasizing about raping a woman, or like sexually, like in the bedroom as a kink, then I think you're a lot worse of a person than if you just make a joke about raping someone in a private call. Just go ahead and watch this.
How am I complacent with Fox's Europe? Because I'm not saying he's anything other than a troll?
Yeah, because you are kind of minimizing that kind of behavior by saying, oh, it's just trolling, it's just being edgy, it's just jokes.
Well, I mean, he's a random Discord spurg.
Yeah, but I don't think it's appropriate for people to be going around the internet talking about raping random women, especially when they're sexual assault survivors.
Okay, but...
That's my opinion.
Yeah, and I mean, that opinion's fine. But I'm just trying to... I'm trying to square the circle here as to why I need to say anything other than Fox Azure is a spurg. He said spurgy things. That's a spurgy thing that he says to get a response.
I did ask you specifically, you know that Bonk having a rape fetish is bad and you condemned him for that, but you are fine with men sitting around in their boys club joking about raping women. Square that circle for me.
Well,
So yeah, I think she's kind of a retard for that. I don't know what mental gymnastics she's playing right there. Again, making the rape jokes is like a poop joke, but for like older people. I think as a grown man, it's kind of silly to make those jokes, kind of dumb. But at the end of the day, this guy just said an off-color joke. Whatever, move on with our lives. But you have someone that you're comparing them to that actively fantasizes about raping women. So I think it's a little silly, right? Two different things, and obviously the guy with the rape fetish is worse, in my opinion. So good on them for fucking condemning him, as they say. It's 2025. We condemn people we don't like now. So just to go ahead and kind of get on to like the yapping part. That's enough recap of the situation. If you weren't aware, that was 6 minutes of me yapping. Now 7 minutes. So you're welcome. But pretty much my take on all of this, kind of combining what I figured out about her, what I've learned. I think she's just an overall hypocrite. And to elaborate on that, she, again, on the part of the whole rape joke, was like, tries to compare it to a man with an actual rape fetish. I think that's crazy. Someone joking about rape, again, a little cringe in the big 2025 when you're a grown man, but it's not detestable. What I will tell you is detestable is having people in your Discord server that you know are minors, and then have them be able to have access to a channel with corn in it. You can deduce what I mean by it's something that rhymes. What rhymes with corn? I don't know, man. But this individual, this child, I believe he, she, they, them, it, is 17 or was 17 at the time. Still a minor on the internet, right? Internet law is that you cannot engage with someone below the age of 18 with sexual material, or in a sexual manner, right? That's just internet law. And with that, I've seen her deflect all of that to, well, it's just either she was saying it's just lewd art, or what's wrong with a 17-year-old seeing boobs, or drawings of boobs. I think it's overall a weird rationale, and kind of freakish to try and defend that. Like, when that happens, you would think, oh fuck, yeah, I fucked up, guys, my bad, right? This person joined the Discord. I had a button that you could press where they get the role for it, and I didn't monitor it, right? Which eventually she did change it to where you had to be given the role. However, that 17-year-old, during the whole duration of that chat being in her Discord, did have permissions to that chat. But it all boils down to an ego, right? She has an ego. She doesn't want to be wrong. She can't admit when she's wrong. And again, I think being a little upset over rape jokes is understandable, right? I'm not a woman. I can't speak on behalf of women. However, when you are building yourself off of a lot of these events that have happened to you, or not that have happened to you, but that you have done, again, allowing a minor to view porn in your Discord, knowingly, mind you, it is a weird, I guess, moral projection. You're trying to virtue signal that you are better than everyone else morally when you're really not. So the whole ego thing rolls into, there's this moment, and again, clip maybe, but we're gonna talk about it anyways. She's talking to Beckett, and they're like talking about Lio, and Beckett's pretty much like, hey, Lio doesn't do predator catches anymore, and she's like, oh, he does. What is this video you just uploaded? Well, I don't know if she's retarded and doesn't know what an actual predator catch is, but catching a predator isn't just talking about a creator that has had predatory events happen where they're being predatory towards a minor and exposing that to the internet. That's not predator catching. Predator catching, right, is if I go on VR chat, find this individual, or in real life, but I'm going to use VR chat because I don't think I'm going to go outside and fucking find predators, get my ass beat, whatever it may be. But let's say, again, I go on VR chat and there's an individual, and I see them talking weird with someone that is, let's say below the age of 18. And so I decide, hey, I'm going to get this person that's above the age of 18 to pose as a minor, get this person to, talk to them, and, have that person engage in sexual conduct with said person. That is a predator catch, because then I expose the person, because I conducted this catch. They interacted with someone they believed was below the age of 18. No minors were actually put in danger. Boom, predator caught. Video uploaded about it. Person gets canceled. Boom, done, Shazam, right? But she moves the goalpost of what a predator catch is, and that's just something minute. It is a point that she could, oh, my bad, yeah, I wasn't aware of what the common term predator catch is actually meant for. But no, she's just like, oh, this is what it is, and tries to say that Beckett's wrong, right, and try to act like that he's wrong. It's kind of weird.
Well, I mean, firstly, Lio's not doing the fucking predator hunting shit now at all.
What was the Doodle Tones video he just released?
How is that predator hunting?
Is that not it? Him calling out predators online? That's what he always thinks predator hunting is.
No, that's calling out essentially a community member who spent the entire time like running a fucking harassment Discord behind everyone's back.
When I say online predator hunter, I mean this kind of call out bullshit. We'll wait for somebody in our terrible community to be bad, and then we'll make a video about them.
Hey, hello, hi, hello, daddies. This part's being added in post, and I couldn't think of a better place to put it in the video, so it's going right here, and I didn't really feel like redoing the whole later half of this video, so it's kind of going right here in the middle. But pretty much, I didn't touch on the doxing part, I realized, throughout the entire recording of this video, so we're gonna roll back a little bit, talk about the doxing, and then get back into minors in Discords with porn. Anyways, yeah, into the doxing stuff. So she's kind of retarded in the sense of that she is just saying that she is fine watching the Op Block crew get doxed, which is a little silly of her to say. I don't know why she thinks that makes her not look bad, but she's just saying that she'll sit back and eat popcorn and enjoy it when they get doxed by this Tyler fella, which she has a history of saying, kind of defending the Tyler guy who is known to dox people, pretty much just saying, oh, that's just how he trolls, blah, blah, blah. It's weird, right? And I know she's quoting Beckett there with that, but it's still a crazy thing to say. And she's then saying, again, she does not care what he does to these people. So kind of like dog whistling for this guy, be like, hey, dox these people, I want you to, ... It's a little silly, but that's the whole doxing thing. It plays less of a role in this entire video versus the whole porn and discords with minors and hypocrisy about rape jokes and other things. Anyways, bye-bye. Back to the rest of the video. Alrighty. So to get into this, right, we're going back into the fray with the whole Discord and porn thing. Up on screen right now is a screenshot from her Blue Sky responding to a user, pretty much asking about it, right? Why did you have that in your Discord to begin with if you knew there were minors in there? You know, what about that? Why would you do that? And she just, kind of downplays it. It's just strictly erotic art, and it had to be spoilered. You know how hard it is to click that unspoiler button on an image on Discord? And that's pretty much it. She then says she got rid of it after it went from being she gave people the role to view it to then an opt-in where you as the user have to choose. That definitely made it harder for children to get the role. And then she eventually got rid of it, right? And I think that is a weird point to make. I don't know how that works as a defense. But she then goes on to say, after responding to the same user again on the screenshot that's up on screen, saying she has no idea if this user got it from her personally or during the opt-in phase, right? She says, this is the kicker, guys. This is the funniest part to me. It says, tell me why I'm being interrogated over this while everyone turns a blind eye to people platforming the rape guy who had a hard drive full of zoophilia to spam in Discords full of minors. Now, to address the crazy part of that fucking, Blue Sky, but I'm calling it a tweet. Fuck it. The crazy part of that tweet, right, is the fucking zoophilia thing. So kind of what I've learned is this is about a dude named Pooh, which Pooh's been talked about earlier in the video. Pooh was an online degenerate for a little bit, and he, I was explained to it. This is how I was told it, not fucking my personal opinion on it, is that he used to go and post it in chats to troll, to make people uncomfortable. I think that's fucking weird. He has since, from what I've been told, taken that hard drive out back and put it down old Yeller style. And I'm not joking about that. That's literally what I've been told. So it's crazy, right? But what I am taking from this tweet of hers is she is downplaying her own wrongdoing by naming a more extreme wrongdoing done by someone else. It is something that I've noticed during my time looking into Sai, the little amount that I have, is that she seems to be the one to downplay her wrongdoings a lot. And here she is trying to do it again and get attention off of herself. And it's kind of silly. So overall, right, that's the end of my little rant. I want to sit down and talk about this and kind of this one chunk of Sai drama. Because I saw it unfold and kind of read through it in Falty's Discord. And again, it's one of those things where it is silly to see, and I hate bringing up the age because age does not equate maturity, but 40 years old, shoot me in the head if I'm like this, please, I beg you. It just doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. I'm in my mid-20s, dude, right? This is the prime time for me to be a retard like this and talk about this shit. But once I'm like 40, dude, I hope I'm like sitting in a lawn chair drinking a beer, watching my future kids play in the dirt and eat worms or something. I don't fucking know, dude. Alrighty though. Right, so that's pretty much it for me, guys. Again, I think she's an absurd hypocrite. I think she virtue signals, or I don't think, I know. I've showed you examples, right, of her really just not taking accountability of what she's doing and always wanting to be right, and not taking any accountability. Little side note, I do think this is a little absurd. She focuses on the guy who makes rape jokes and not the guy who has in the past posted fucking animal porn. But that's just me, right? That's just my opinion. I don't know. I guess rape joke bad, but fucking guy with the rape fetish and fucking animal porn isn't as bad. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed, fucking leave a like, subscribe. Again, don't go harassing Sai because of my shitty video that like 10 people are gonna watch. But yeah, that's all from me, guys. Y'all have a good day. Bye bye.